I would split this role into four sharp buckets. Bucket number one, it's to guide the leadership team to clearly the next step and the next journey as we evolve ahead. Number two is, since I come from the other side of the industry, it's to deepen the customer insights. It's important to realize what's the need of today, what's the need of tomorrow, and really help the entire team, including the customer relation team, the product team, to relate with the customer world. Third is people space is getting disrupted. And I don't think this is going to be a transition phase. It's going to be something of a permanent nature. We will see more and more accelerated disruptions and large amount of transformation. I keep saying people transformation is a space by itself. So how do we really deepen the entire HR practice as a space is something that clearly needs a lot of thought leadership. That's the third one. And of course, the last one, which I've been extremely passionate about, and which is where the convergence with HONO also comes around very sharply, is the convergence between people and technology. I think they both are so complementary with every single business and enterprises of today. That's where the entire sharpness would come. The difference is something that one needs to understand from what we have also seen very closely in the last couple of years post the pandemic. Number one, the biggest realization humankind has seen is the shift from balanced work life to life work. And let me elaborate a little bit more about this. All along, we always assumed that we were born to work and we balanced life as possibly a secondary objective. I think the realization has crept in so sharply that people understand that work has got to be a subset of life. That being true, I think the evolution in the entire people space is so rapid now that there is a massive shift from a life cycle management to lifestyle, which is possibly going to coexist. So that's the space and that's the challenge. So it's, whether you're riding a camel or a horse or a tiger, one doesn't know, but you need to ride this. And that is where I see that this entire aspect of how we really drive HONO as a company, right from a point solution to a full suite HRMS, I think all of them become relevant. I've been fortunate to have done seven different roles in seven varied industries. So I didn't script it, but it happened. I think there was one point of similarity in all my roles, and that was consciously very focused attempt in terms of building skills and capabilities for the future. It's very essential that every business enterprise understands what are the points of relevance. How do you really build skills and capabilities of the future? And particularly in this digital world, it's important to embrace technology and adopt it much ahead of time so that it stays relevant. I think that's something which I have consistently done, number one. The difference is I'm completely on the other side. I've been a 3 decade industry guy, and now I'm on the other side, actually helping businesses adopt this entire convergence of people and technology through product solutions and offerings, and that's the excitement. Yeah, the first and foremost from a HONO standpoint is to help the client world really accelerate their business. I think that's the primary focus through people. Yeah, through people. We've always heard business growth through customers, and everyone does it any which way. But the point is, how do you really drive a people excellence platform play through people? And that's where HONO's sharpness will come in. Yeah. So the question of how do we make the entire HRMS coexist along with point solutions? By this, what I mean is right from a life cycle to lifestyle. How do we really make different solutions coexist and help businesses accelerate? Sometimes, you work for the client world. Sometimes you actually go with them. But in our business, we would even try to be a little ahead of the game so that we are able to see the businesses ahead. We are able to see some of the features of the people who are coming ahead of time, and we can advise and help the client world anticipate and ready for this particular change. And the sharpness of the convergence, so far as technology and people are concerned, needs considerable amount of research and innovation, which we at the HONO world are committing to really gather momentum and build a good amount of pace. HONO's vision is to help the customers accelerate the business. If I were to give one sentence, and what does this really mean is we partner with them, help them create winning enterprises, and particularly driving businesses through people. That's the vision. That's the vision. So how do we really ensure that businesses get to the people excellence platform play and take people to the next level, whereby they accelerate business? That's the vision and the journey. If I were to look at it, people disruption is attaining an industry status by itself. That is where the headroom for HONO to grow is. There are a lot of players, but there are a lot of players in the different buckets and different categories. But the market is pretty large. We really have an advantage in terms of considerable investments having been made at the back end in terms of product innovation and research. But along with the entire life cycle solutions from a hire to retire or a lifestyle point solution, the essence is how do we really build some capabilities of predictives and analytics as well? That's where the power is coming. So we are not defining that you need to be in a particular situation to adopt this. We're perfectly fine to be customizing our product solutions and offerings to the enterprise world, whether you're a startup, a mid player, or a large corporate. First and foremost, I'm a believer that people and technology are the two sides of the same coin. All along in the corporate world, in the enterprise world, in the businesses, we've always ensured that technology has been an enabler of the business. We've lived with that myth, mindset, whatever. Time has now come to put the horse ahead of the cart. How can technology really help you pull the businesses ahead and take it to the next level? That's where HONO comes into play. Yeah. So we are a believer that technology is ahead and let it really lead us to the next level. And this is where the convergence of technology and people is where we draw our energy from, constantly going, from one end of the spectrum to the other end. Technology will continue to be a common denominator, absolutely consistently a common denominator. It was, it is, it will remain. And the adoption, so far as people are concerned, let it be seen as a numerator so that that sits on top and starts adopting each of those. I think if let us I'll take you to a visualization exercise here. So if you were to visualize the entire aspect of worker and the workplace, let's talk of the evolution. Workplaces used to be physical. In the world of today, you live in the internet. It's completely virtual. Number one. So the workplace definition itself has changed, and the practice is completely globally virtual. Let's talk of the worker. Worker is again somebody whom you could associate with a human being that again coexists in today's world between human and machines. Third, the work. Work was something that was defined as a flow, as an intangible flow in terms of achieving your common business objective. That is what enterprises believed work to be. But work today is completely an energy flow going right up to the cloud in terms of how you feel it and how you want to drive it. So a lot of stuff come into this entire workflow, which is a cloud solution today. So the entire change of worker in the workplace has rapidly gained momentum, and this disruption will continue to grow. The enterprises, when they start fitting their entire people model into this, I would categorize them under three categories. Number one, survivors. And survivors are those who are always trying to cope up with this change. They're always making humongous amount of effort. The second set are those who are levelers, who will always be right on time to adopt to the changes, right in time, showing their respective agilities to be, what's the stuff that we need for today, and be there. That's I call them the levelers. But there'll always be the third set who always aspire to be, in the lead stack. They're the winners. I call them the excellers. They are the guy who are the disruptors, who will always think ahead of time. HONO actually positions wherever you are in the enterprises to go through this entire journey from a survivor to a leveler to an exceller. Wherever you are in the value chain, we can fit in and we can help you with this journey of change. And that's where the sweet spot of what HONO can do to people transformation is where the customer one will need to possibly come together. And this is what we do and try and partner with our clients to build winning organizations.